right, so we have our grids now are the same number of squares, 17 and 17, and 22 across and 22 across. Now for the good part. We are going to start our contour drawing for our self-portraits. Now, a contour is actually the informational lines that run around the outside of your picture. And the reason we call these contours is because they give us the information about what this is, but they are lying on the outside perimeter of all of our shading, of all of our value. So oftentimes you see contour drawings in cartoons or just line drawings, but we're going to use our contour drawing just to start mapping out our portrait. So that being said, the way that you start a grid drawing, and the whole reason grid drawings are so fantastic, is because they really help you to look and observe line. So if you're looking at this photograph, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and on the 6th square, you can see that this is the line that starts. So again, I'm going to go to my paper. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is the 6th one. And knowing that, I can look and match up exactly the 6th square here. Let's see if I can focus that a little bit more. This 6th square here on my portrait with the same square here on my big drawing. The way that I do this, I look at this square. I cut it in half. So if I was looking at this square, I know that the line starts all the way on the corner. About halfway through, it starts to leave the line, and then it goes all the way across. If I'm looking at the halfway here, we know that it leaves before it actually crosses the other corner. So if I'm looking at my 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I'm going to kind of think of it the same way. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say about half, about half, about half, about half. And just like the photograph, I know that this line is going to start, and it starts up here, and that line comes across and leaves before the other half. Now note the sketching line that I just used, because that sketching line comes in handy if you have to fix or add to your drawing. Next square, so I'm looking at my photo. That line is coming down and through, and notice that it leaves before, almost right on the half mark right here, maybe a little bit after the half mark in that square. So I'm going to move my paper a second. 1, 2 over, continuing the line, continuing that line, sketching mark, leaves just little past half. So there I have 2 boxes already done. Looking at my picture, looking at the line, watching that line cross through the corner and start into the next box. So I'm going to look at that corner. It's going to cross through the corner, just like it did in that one, through the corner. And now looking at this box right here, again, I'm going to look at what halfway is and what halfway is. And this is giving you great perspective and observation of this one line. It's really important because it's just like a puzzle. You're putting the puzzle pieces together. And again, this line comes in, if you saw, and down. And the trick to this one is it actually changes direction right about the halfway mark and then curves down. So I'm also going to put the dashes here to know where my halfway is, and that's about my halfway point. So in my drawing, this line that comes in comes across, and then it changes direction and actually curves down to about there because it's a wrist, and actually it shows it at even more of an angle in the drawing. So I can go back and I can finesse that and erase it until it's exactly the way that it is in the photograph, because if you see, it bends way more than I had it. So it's coming across and then it bends. Get rid of this. So now that we see that, we're going to just go look at the next part. Cuts across the corner. So this bend needs to bend even more. Little out, bend, bend and across. Now, a few things you need to know about letting go of. One, you are going to erase at some point, at multiple points actually, because even if you look at these squares perfectly and that line is going, there's going to be a time where you need to take some artistic license so things match up and it looks exactly the way you want it to. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by drawing these contour lines that are already present in our picture. If you need to, you can always take your pencil and trace the contour line so you can really see it. That way it makes it a little bit easier to see. You don't want to use a pen or a marker though, because you want to still be able to see the shadows of your black and white drawing. Black and white photos, so you can put them on your black and white drawing. So really look at this contour line. Once it meets up with the face, you have the option of starting to do the outline of the face or continuing down toward the hand. And note that the hand almost disappears a bit right here. So when you draw it, the contour lines are going to disappear a tiny bit because that's all shadow. You're going to use the line of the shadow as opposed to the line of the hand and really be drawing this shape that is missing. So that being said, we're going to go ahead and just work on the contour lines. Again, grid drawing is important for observation and for being able to know what you are drawing and how it looks.